4K at 30 frames a second, 1080p at 120. And as you can see right there, it has a front screen very similar to the Osmo Action. This thing is all waterproof. It has a quarter 20 at the bottom. A lot of great things that check off the boxes, but how does it compare to some of the existing action cameras out there, such as the GoPro Hero 8, Insta360 4K, as well as, of course, the DJI Osmo Action. This is the new action camera from Akaso, and this is the Brave 7 LE. And actually, thanks to Akaso for sponsoring this video. They're actually giving away one of these to one lucky viewer. So make sure you guys stay till the end to see how you could win this camera right here. And if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Aldrin Anastasio. I do a lot of drone tech tips, tutorials, and product reviews right here on this channel. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing and also hitting that bell to be notified when I post new videos. Now, if you guys have been following my channel for a little while now, you guys know I use these action cameras right here, not necessarily just for action sports or any extreme stuff like that. I pretty much use these as more of my all-day, all-purpose type of cameras. Mainly because these are small, you can bang them up, you can, put these in your pocket, and it has a front screen on this one here, which is the Osmo Action. You don't have that on the GoPro. So I'll normally use these a lot more than my phone or my larger camera, just because of ease of use. I just kind of slip this into my pocket, and then I can kind of document pretty much everything I do throughout the day. And to be honest, I really didn't know much about Akaso. You're so used to seeing some of the bigger brands out there, but actually Akaso, from what I found out, is one of the biggest brands, if not the biggest brands, as far as action camera sales on Amazon. So Akaso actually reached out to me to see if I wanted to review this camera right here, which is their latest Brave 7 LE camera. And the main reason why I took this on is because you can see right here, as you guys know, the Osmo Action is pretty much my favorite action camera for all-purpose type of use. And one of the main reasons is right here, that front-facing color screen. Now, why is Akaso and this camera probably one of the most popular cameras as far as Amazon goes? Well, this thing is a little over $100. I think as of right now, there's a deal on it for, I believe it's like $118 or $120, but regular price I think is about $139 or $135. For this action camera right here. Of course, I'll be leaving the links to this camera as well as all the other ones down below in the video description, so make sure you guys check those out if you guys are interested in picking one of these up. Now, of course, with that price difference, I wanted to see why is it so much more affordable. I mean, this is a little over $100, $125, $130. We have the Osmo Action that runs around a $250 to $300 range. The GoPro Hero 8, which is around that $300 range, and you have the Insta360. This is the dual edition or twin edition, where you have the 4K camera as well as a 360 camera, and that runs in that $400, $500 range. Of course, I'll have the accurate prices as far as today, what they are, listed down below in the video description. Now, of course, at that price point, I really wanted to see how big of a difference there really was between something like this versus a lot of these other popular action cameras. If you guys have been following me, like I mentioned, I use it for more all-purpose. For some of you that might use it for one or two specific things, you might find some benefits out of some of the other ones. And quick spoiler alert, bang for buck, this thing is amazing for what you're getting for the price. So once you open up the box, you're gonna get a bunch of bags, all labeled 1, 2, 3, and you basically get a ton of stuff. The first bag, you get a bunch of accessories. And what's great about this is that they all use that two-prong system, so very much how the GoPro was and all the other action cameras. So a bunch of accessories here for mounting in pretty much any situation, even like a little handlebar mount, which is really cool. And then bag number 2, you get things like your USB charging cable, as well as a few kind of mounts that help you either zip tie it, or if you wanted to have extra security around this. And then on the last one, you get a watch, which is not really a watch, but it's a start and stop record. So if you wanted to have this action camera maybe on the front of your car or on the front of your bike, you don't have to reach down and actually power it on and off. You can actually use this watch right here to hit record or take a photo with the camera. And on top of that, they actually give you a couple batteries. So they give you 2 batteries and a battery charger for you to charge both those batteries up, which normally a lot of this stuff, as well as the batteries, are normally always sold separately. Next, just jump into the build quality of this new action camera. And overall, when I first got it, it didn't feel like, one of those kind of cheaper action cameras, mainly because of the way the body is built. It's built and it looks very similar, of course, to the Osmo Action. It has this kind of rubberized texture on the outside, very similar to the GoPro texture that they have here on this outer lens. Has that all the way around the body on the Akaso. On this side right here, we have a little flap that opens up, and you have a micro USB to charge and transfer files, as well as an HDMI out. So if you wanted to use this and plug this directly from your camera to your TV and preview your videos that way. You're able to do that here, which is something unique. A lot of the other cameras actually don't have that. But the one thing I did see was missing here is some sort of audio jack. So I don't believe that you're able to plug in or get an adapter at this moment to get something like an external mic, because I don't know if they're going to be able to use the HDMI or the micro USB out. I did see on some of their previous action cameras that Akaso did make like their own microphone system, so maybe they'll come out with one for this one, but as of right now I don't know if you're able to plug in any external microphones to this action camera. Unfortunately, they're still using the micro USB versus something like USB-C. I kind of wish that they went USB-C. Not sure if it's a cost thing, but either way, micro USB as well as the HDMI out on this side. Now the camera by itself is actually IPX7 weather and waterproof, which means you can bring it down a few feet without having any issues. And the thing is, they actually include this right here, which is yet another accessory that they include, a waterproof case that allows you to now put your Akaso in here, and you're able to take this down 40 meters deep if you wanted to go a little bit deeper. So if you are going to take this surfing or out in the water where you know you might have it a little bit in deeper waters, you definitely want to be able to use this. But I was able to take this thing out into my pool here and just kind of film the kids going around, and of course I'm just going to kind of keep it in the water at a few feet. Had no issues recording my kids in a few feet of water with it just like this without the housing. Now of course, let's jump into some of the important stuff, not only the video quality, stabilization, and the audio and things like that, but also the user experience, which I'm more passionate about as far as how I'm using my cameras. We'll talk about that as well. So let's jump into some of the video and audio comparisons first. Then I'll talk to you about some of the things I really like about the new Akaso Brave 7, as well as some of the things I think they can still fix and enhance on their next version. Now when it comes to EIS, or electronic image stabilization, this is where you can see some of the difference between the Akaso and these other action cameras right here. But if you were to look at the Akaso footage by itself with the EIS on and off, it does an amazing job as far as stabilizing that footage straight out of camera here. Now when you look at some of the comparisons with some of the other ones, you do see a little bit more or a little bit better image stabilization with these cameras here versus this one. But I keep forgetting the price range is only about 125 bucks for this thing. So I just have to keep that in mind when I'm thinking about it, that this thing is only a little bit over 100 bucks and these are like about 2 to 3 times the price. So for what you get out of this thing, pretty good image stabilization right out of the box. All right, doing a little walking, vlogging style audio test here. How does the audio sound? Right now we have all 4 cameras up on here. We have the GoPro Hero 8 right here on the far left. We also have the Akaso Brave right here. And next we have the Osmo Action right here. And then of course we have the Insta360 One-R 4K version right here. How does the audio sound? There is actually no wind right now. So this is pretty much what you're gonna get if there's no wind in your area. So how does the audio sound? Testing 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4. How does the audio sound here? I have all the action cameras about 2 feet away, so here is a little audio test. How does the audio sound? Testing 1 2 3 4. We have the GoPro, we have the Akaso Brave. I have all the action cameras about 2 feet away, so here is a little audio test. How does the audio sound? Testing 1 2 3 4. We have the GoPro, we have the Akaso Brave. And you just saw in that last clip, as you could tell, the audio is where I think this thing needs a little bit more improvement. It did pick up a lot of ambient noise, a lot more than some of these other action cameras did for some other reason. And when it did pick it up, it was pretty low. Kind of felt a little more muffled than some of these other ones here. Now next I want to talk about some of the things I really like about the Brave 7 LE and some of the things I think they can improve on their next version. Now the first thing I really like about it is that the battery life is surprisingly really good, and you get 2 in the box. Some of these other cameras, of course, you have to buy a lot of the batteries separately, which normally costs a lot of money. And not only do you get an extra battery with this thing, you actually get a battery charger, a dual battery charger. The next thing I really like is that quarter 20 at the very bottom, and mainly because of the fact that you can keep your setup really small. I have a small little tripod right here. This is from PGY Tech. I use one of the adapters that comes in their accessory pack. All you do is screw this on just like that. Tighten this up here, and for me, this is, you just stick this into your pocket. It's always ready to go. Very similar to how I would normally use my Osmo Action. But once you screw this on here, you have a little vlog rig that you can extend out and turn this just like that. And look how quickly you can easily get into vlog mode, and I can see myself in that screen, which is a very big deal. Now, as you guys know, I'm big on more of the user experience side, so surprisingly, the interface on the Akaso is pretty intuitive. I mean, anyone that can pick this up and go through this menu system is pretty straightforward, and that's actually one of the things I really like about it versus even some of the other cameras. I mean, everything is here with a nice large icon. Once you hit it and once you change the resolution, everything is there. I mean, yeah, it looks a little bit dated as far as how it's designed, but if you wanted to change something, it's pretty intuitive of what you want to do. I want to change the video resolution, gives you the options here. The touchscreen is actually pretty responsive, and you don't really have necessarily a lot of that in between. It just kind of locks into place, and I kind of like that. If you're just looking at this by itself without comparing it side by side, you probably wouldn't notice too much of a difference. So video quality alone is pretty solid. I did notice that when you do jump up in frame rates, something like at the 120 at 1080p, the video does break down a lot more compared to these. These handle higher frame rates a lot better. I think if they definitely enhance the audio system on this thing on their next version, that'd be a big plus. But overall, it does record audio. It's good enough. And like I mentioned, and I keep saying it, I keep forgetting at the price range. The price range on this thing is ridiculous. The one thing that I like the most, as you guys know, if you guys have seen any of my Osmo Action videos, is that quick switch button here. I like to jump from 4K at 60, 4K to 30, quick into slow motion, into photos. That quick switch right here is one of, I think, the biggest selling points for me as far as this action camera and all-purpose type of camera goes. So if they were to include some sort of presets on here, very much like how GoPro kind of has it in here, they have it in there, but you have to press one button and then press the other button to navigate through it. I think still by far the quick switch button for me is one of the biggest reasons why I like the Osmo Action. And there it is, guys. That was just my overview of the Akaso Brave 7 LE. Let me know your guys' thoughts on how well this thing did as far as what you're getting for your price versus some of these other action cameras out there. And a huge shout out to Akaso for sponsoring the channel by giving one of these out to one of you guys. And as you guys know, my giveaways are pretty simple. And of course, I want to give, these things out to you guys, especially to my notification squad. So if you guys are watching my videos and you guys aren't getting notified, make sure you guys hit that not only subscribe button, but hit that bell to be notified when I post videos. That way, when I do some of these reviews and if there are any product giveaways on there, you'll be first to know. And because when I do some of these product giveaways, I want to make sure that you guys are benefiting by being on the notification squad. So I'll be doing these giveaways and it'll be always drawn within the first 48 hours of me posting the video. So make sure you guys are part of that notification squad by hitting that bell down below. And as you guys know, my giveaways are really simple. All you have to do, of course, is like this video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also, the notification bell is turned on. And leave me a comment down below in the video description of this video within the first 48 hours of me posting it. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you plan on doing with your camera. Are you an adventure seeker, hiker, or are you like me, kind of an all-purpose type of use? I have a family of 5 here, 3 kids and a wife. I normally would like to always take my action cameras with me and stick it in my pocket and record pretty much everything we do throughout the day. Do you do something like surfing or biking or anything along those lines? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are into and what you plan on using with this camera. Make sure to get those comments in there, and within the first 48 hours of this video posting, I'll be picking a random comment winner down below in the video description. Also, when I pick that winner, make sure you guys come back because I'm gonna reply back to your actual comment. And if you guys don't get back to me within that first 24 hours of when I comment back to the winner, I'm gonna now save this for another future giveaway in one of my videos. Thanks again for watching, guys. This is Ultra Anastasio with FlytPath.com. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.